Well, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Art of Violence. So it has just been announced that Jiri Prochazka is going to be rematching Alex Oliveira. Hopefully this one doesn't fall through. If it does, my gosh. But apparently this is actually going down. It's actually happening. It's the real deal. It's going down. So who do I think is going to win? How is this fight going to go? Now, I'd have to go back and really watch the first fight. I did see it, but I don't know if it ended in round 2 or 1. I don't think it went past 2. But the point of today's video is I had a feeling Alex was going to win the first one. Now, I want to talk about why, and I want to talk about the thing that I think is going to lead towards Jiri's defeat in their rematch. See, a lot of fighting comes down to fundamentals and foundations. And a lot of that has to do with your feet. A lot of that has to do with your feet. A lot of that has to do with how set and balanced you are and ready to go, attack and defend responsibly and adequately, while keeping yourself safe, right? To attack and inflict the most damage possible while simultaneously being ready to defend yourself successfully while taking minimal damage as possible. Whoever can do that the most typically is going to win the quickest. So the problem with Jiri is he likes to do all this fancy, crazy, unconventional, sometimes kind of nonsense that sometimes can be beneficial, sometimes can lead to him clipping or catching his opponent off guard. But oftentimes, like we've seen the Dominic Reyes fights, the fight that was a close fight until, the spinning back elbow, but he was in trouble several times in that fight, in the Dominic Reyes fight. And a lot of that is because he doesn't have a very stable foundation with his feet, which means his defense is very it's very all over the place. Sorry, I'm looking at how I'm getting back to my car here on this trail, but his defense is very all over the place. And the way he defends is very unpredictable, detrimentally unpredictable. So, to get away from something, he's typically going to have to do some sort of weird gesture, sort of weird hand swatting motion, block with an inverted elbow, just lean far back, pivot in some sort of weird way, and then try and attack you from a weird angle. He has to do a lot of unconventional stuff to try to get out of the way of punches, and then even land punches. And because of that, there's going to be moments where you're unstable, where you're not balanced, you're not focused, you're not ready to move back to the side or pivot this way, pivot that way, quickly and assertively. There's a sense of just if it happens, it happens. There's it's a sense of randomness or serendipity that's not necessarily beneficial to you winning a fight. It's very all over the place and very I just pull shit out of my ass and then do it in the fight. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, oh well. That's great when it works. And when it doesn't, it's horrible. And you get knocked out badly, like he did against Alex Pereira the first time. Right? So, he needs to really develop a foundation, especially when it comes to defense sorry, I thought I stepped on something, of defense and of learning how to move front, back, side to side and doing that switch, and not just relying on these crazy, unpredictable patterns of movement and attack and defend and throwing these weird punches at weird angles that leave you wide open if you miss, and then having to rely on your chin, which eventually is going to go. He needs to develop a really strong sense of defense, honestly, and a much more solid, grounded offense, and not one where his feet are all over the place and he's just throwing everything wild and jumping in and out of things. You can do that against lower level opponents. When it comes to the higher level guys, they are going to be able to see that. They're going to be able to have attacks, counters, defenses, setups to intercept you, time you, counter you, whatever it may be. We see this with Charles Oliveira, for example, when he fought Islam Makhachev. He didn't run through, but he finished Chandler, he finished Gaethje, and he finished Poirier. He won a crazy 3-fight streak where he just finished like high-level guy after high-level guy after high-level guy. However, he got hurt in every single one of those fights. He got close to being finished in the Chandler fight. I believe he got close to being finished in the Poirier fight. And Justin, I don't know if Justin ever really got close, but he did drop him, I believe, a couple times and had him hurt. So you gotta understand, if you're getting close to being finished by guys, that means that a higher level guy is going to be able to come in and actually do the job. So Oliveira has this like very random, like kind of almost happy-go-lucky, like very unpredictable style of striking and movement sometimes, where he'll just start exchanging and throwing flying knees from like 10 feet away, and all these very like just walking forward with no head movement, and all these very kind of like cowboyish, reckless things that he does, and they can work sometimes. Now he does have better fundamentals than someone like Jiri Prochazka does. So he's going to be able to beat a higher level guy more consistently. Might get hurt, might get, messed up a little bit in the face, but he'll still be able to pull it off because he has better foundation. However, when you're fighting someone who has a really, really solid foundation like Islam Makhachev, how does that fight go? Not very well. He had very, very little success in that fight, right? And as the less holes guys have, the more your holes are going to get exploited. I know that sounds mildly homosexual. I don't mean it like that. Maybe if you're into that. I mean, jiu-jitsu MMA is kind of gay after all, but I don't mean it like that exactly. But the lower level guys you're fighting, the more you can get away with. Now, I know Dustin Poirier is not low level. I know Justin Gaethje is not low level, but that's what I'm saying. Islam was hurt in every single one of those fights. So was Chandler, pretty much. Chandler, when he almost got finished, but he's able to come back with a win and pull it off, right? So he's good enough to be able to get it together, keep his feet in a good position, adjust where he needs to, eventually pressure his opponent back, hit him with something hard and submit him. He also has jiu-jitsu on his side too, something Jiri Prochazka doesn't really have, not at a high level. So he has multiple ways of finishing you, even though he has some severe flaws. Now, those flaws aren't really going to get exploited unless he fights someone super high level. Now, we saw he fought Arman, and, definitely had some flaws exploited and definitely wasn't able to finish the job because Arman, has a better sense of fundamentals and a better grasp of certain things than Justin or Dustin does in some ways. So the greater someone's fundamentals are, the harder it's going to be for you to beat them, because someone like Chandler does make a lot of mistakes and is very wild and reckless at times. So there's going to be a lot of opportunities to counter. Versus someone like Arman or Islam, they make a lot less mistakes. So there's going to be a lot less opportunity for you to be able to capitalize and then counter, set them up, land something, whatever it is, when you get to the higher level guys. Right? And that's why I thought Charles kind of did win, but I wasn't like mad at the decision with Arman. Again, I thought Charles did win, but I could see how Arman won as well. I'd have to go back and rewatch the fight, but the point is, the higher level guys you face, the less amount of things you can get away with. I think Jiri Prochazka makes too many mistakes to be able to get away with those against someone who is an absolute sniper and can really change your life with one punch, and knows how to set things up, knows how to move, knows how to defend, knows how to attack, keeps his feet solid, knows how to follow a game plan, knows how to adjust, like Alex Pereira, who seems to be getting better and better as he's fighting more. Jiri Prochazka does not have a high-level jiu-jitsu. If he did, maybe it'd be a different story. He'd have that X factor. If he had Charles Oliveira's jiu-jitsu, he could take Jiri down, just finish it that way. But he doesn't. So he's forced to stand. Makes too many mistakes on the feet. I think this fight ends probably in 2 rounds. I think Alex Pereira knocks him out the same way. Is what it is. Jiri Prochazka has got to work on his fundamentals. So, is what it is. Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you agree, disagree. Do you think Jiri's going to win? Do you think Alex is going to win? How do you think this fight's going to go? Let me know what you think in the comments below. I want to know all of it. I'll be responding to every single comment. We'll have a conversation. So yeah, that's all for now. My name's Angelo. Zero to Violence. Till next time.